Karibu sana to Vibe na Queen.
Thank you very much. Hujadi HSC.
Sorry. Okay. HS. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
HSC. Founder wa mambo mingi. Mother.
Yes.
Inspirator. What are the inspirator?
Thank you. I'm honored.
And what is it called? You give people opportunities. Do you remember me coming to your show with a little
small girl in a small cat, very timid and scared.
With a little djembe. And I remember those were my very, very first gigs.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy to host you, man.
I'm proud to see how a big girl you've become.
Thank you so much, Iddi. Thank you so much for being part of Vibe na Queen. And thank you for accepting to come and share your wisdom with us. So this season, inaitwa the Matriarchs. And kuna mtu nilimuta ameshaka kanambia bebe ndio usimite Matriarch.
Hey, you Matriarch inakanikani kuna walking stick. In fact, I'm looking around.
But
it's so matriarchal.
Matriarch ni jina ya heshima bana.
Really?
Matriarch ni jina ya heshima sana.
Yeah, waliovuma. Bado navuma.
Na unazidi kuvuma na utavuma.
Story for another day. What I think kwanza hiyo story ya Matriarch.
But speaking of kuvuma, Iddi unajua umevuma sana. I remember walking into your show nikasikia Obongo. Mimi nataka kwanza uimbe watu kwa sababu yani that chant. Call us into Vibe na Queen. Call us.
Unajua au magods wa mkapole pole. So tuamshe. Au wangatuna mafeeling zao. Yaani unajua au watoi tu hawako Nairobi.
Kwa hivyo katikati hapa mahali tunaweza sikia tu wameamka.
Obongo! Singanya Roma maler nyakalagain inena panda anago sigalagala nyalega goyo sigalagala Majino gini matien kitito tide moketi emula tete
Iddi, unaweza tiba hivyo ulilan ulianzaje?
Ni ujaluo. Ujaluo ni gharama, my friend. No, being a Luo is a calling. It's an institution.
But is this something you learned from someone? Am I just like because you know the I know in African tradition,
yes.
in African traditional society, chanting is almost it's not almost it's actually spiritual.
And it's a way of life.
It's a way of life. It's not something that you learn. Does it come very naturally for you in the same way?
It's natural, and having grown up with music around me and oral literature, the African way of doing things. I didn't even grow up in the village. Apparently, I'm a Nairobi town girl, but I schooled in the village in my late years. High school, 2 years is not enough to inculcate that in you. But even the interest in the African plays at the Kenyan National Theatre, learning about different cultures, Kenyan and African, and the way people used to express themselves through music and getting to interact with the different songs and different styles of other musicians and other artists and other cultures, then gives you a different feel in terms of your approach to music and art, generally as it is. So when I went into my own world of music, that was my entry point. I mean, how else would I express myself as a Luo girl, as a Luo woman, as an artist, as an actor, as someone who has worked in different communities for theatre for development? That's what I call it. How else would I call the beings to come and support and take me out to the world? Because I'm taking my culture out to the world. You know, music has gone big. It travels faster probably than stage theatre and acting. So music is sending your culture to the world. So when I go, what was that? I mean, so there's a way, kuna ka vibe, your vibe, unasema. That vibe.
And you wear so many hats. Kutoka kusanii to acting, to being a leader, to being a mom, and development work, and community theatre, and actually gender work.
Yes.
Yeah. Respect to you, Iddi, for so much that you do.
Ni mama na
Akuna mama.
Uwezi tu inasemwa hivi, in Luo we have a saying, Kamiluo kri okituoye. Yani mali umeoga, haukauki, endo kauke, uko mbele. You cannot
Kamiluo kri okitoye.
Okituoye. Toye means go.
Sawa.
Tuoye.
Sawa.
So, if you start here, maybe acting, then you keep growing. That's where it means don't dry out as maybe an actor. You can move from being this small actor to a mid actor to a bigger actor. So whatever you are, bloom Basically, that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And what I've gone through. You also bloomed.
Yeah.
From that timid girl with one temper to now who you are today.
Oh my
See,
gosh.
yeah. So it's about growing.
You
Well,
have to
not
grow.
everyone grows anyway.
In your growth.
Yes.
And you know, coming from the village and representing your roots in such a strong way and in the way that you exist. Did you get support from people from back there and also living in the city? Did you get support? I mean, I know that most of your family plays instruments.
Yeah.
I don't know about your folks. You didn't tell me about your folks, but I know your siblings play instruments and you have a lot of experience in church. But I just want to know, like, what kind of support did you get, like, from the village, or what kind of how did people view you ukianza kuja kwa usanii?
First of all, I'm Luo. Luo music is part and parcel of life. I mean, that's the way things. There's music.
Lakini nyoja kabana, unaji.
Sasa the commercial side.
Unakuanga na thorax.
Hiyo thorax lazima. Unajua tukiingia hata nilikia mkajua tu kuna mjadha ameingia. Nakuanga tu hivyo. Tuko inaitwa agog. We have the agog, you know what I'm talking about? The oomph.
Tell me.
Yeah, so music has been understood differently in my society, and the fact that I did not grow in the village,
yes,
is very different.
Yes.
So when I'm home, sometimes I'm like, anaimba, lakini Afrofusion. What's Afrofusion? They know Ohangla, Benga, Rumba. Lakini yako imeenda international. You've traveled the world. But sometimes I can take a jazz track and sing in Luo. Of course, they will not follow the jazzy side of it, but I'm singing in Luo.
Yeah.
But internationally, while our music is classified as world music, I'll be able to fuse different sounds with my original language. So and I understood more internationally than probably the village side, the cultural side of it. They're really here, the Luo bit of it. Yeah. So of course the world has opened quite a bit in the last maybe 10 years. Yeah. That they're like, it's different, but she's still our person. Yeah. Or this kind of music is they're still our people, though it's kind of different. Yeah. In terms of my family, I come from a very Christian church-like. My sister sang in the church choir. My bro, of course, piano, all the instruments and all that, drums and all that. But when I went into now the social side of it, commercial side of music, the support has been there. Though my mom was wondering, so when we do get a job, that's always the issue. So you usanii huko tu, hujauliza kama una job? Utapata job siku gani?
Nimeulizwa sana.
Yeah. So you went to university and you're still singing. Si upate kazi.
Yeah, tafuta kazi.
Lakini bado madola zinaingia tu. So okay, sawa. So that's been the challenge, and because music has been viewed for the longest time in Africa, I think, as an entertainment. They've not seen the commercial angle of it. So that has been the challenge, especially then. That has changed now and is still changing. We thank God for that. Even the government of the day are recognizing that it can be an honor for a country. Yeah. And even in terms of the education system, they're now starting to look beyond just the books and look at the talent that a child can have, so that we have an all-round individual. Yeah. Yes.
Nice. When you were starting out, kulikuwa na mademu wengi walikuwa naimba hiyo time?
Wengi sana. But they fell along the way to marriage, to family, to challenges that are both personal and societal, I must say.
Well, so unajaribu kuniambia, ukiolewa uwezi endelea na career?
Most of them don't, because it depends. We are very patriarchal. And back to the Luo story of it. Bibi yako anaimba kwa bar. Bibi yako anaimba kwa bar. Ati anaenda kutingisha ma feelings na ma things. How?
Kwa bar.
Wewe ni mjaluo na bibi yako anaimba kwa bar aje. So you see that mindset is already an off maybe for your family. They're like, it's between our name, your marriage, or me, the man, it's between, or even the men, even the male artists, I think they also have that I mean, how, even to your in-laws that you're a singer, how are you even, I mean, why? This thing comes naturally. So some upate to proper kufanya. Yeah. So it's that socialization that music is not a profession that needs to change, but that mindset has been there. Yeah. It's an African mindset that inaenda kichange. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Do you think mindset inaendelea kuchange? Ukiangalia venye kulikuwa before na sai, kwa sababu you've been on you've sat as founder, co-founder of Prisk and vice chair, and you've been in these boards where you actually have the bird's eye view of the music industry. What do you think in terms of growth, in terms of kuangalia muziki kama for example kama hobby?
Imechange the moment, like the service providers, like Safaricom's, the Airtels, when they came in and they were like, you can have those Kasiva tunes for your music. They saw the commercial side of it.
Okay.
So the moment someone can see, hey, we and from Kasiva tunes, so this is a profession that can actually pay.
Okay.
Of course, the video quality is changed. We've become a global village. So there's quality that has been brought home, that has even taken Kenyan music out there. Therefore, the fusion artists have taken it also internationally. So the marriage that has happened has infected and made a positive change to the local scene. That those years, what music and entertainment as a whole was viewed, the way it was viewed is different with right now.
Right.
And it's going to be much better as the years go by. For the ones who are coming up, it will be easier for them. Because there's this song that there's an artist who sang that tells just about attitude. That mimi siwezi katiwa na musician na mtu wa guitar because yeye ni laana. Jagita oksera, jagita lania. Do you know what that is? Mtu wa guitar haizi nikatia juu yeye ni lania because first of all laana tu hajasoma, atakwenda nisumbua atakuwa amesota throughout. So ukishasikia hivyo, it tells you what was there before. Musician mtu anaimba mahali anaambiwa kule hii food ama ndio hii busa hapa. That's where it was. But now we have artists who have gone to school, who are exposed, who are businessmen, who are architects. They're everything, but now their passion is what they're following. So I might have gone to school, I am a financial expert, but again, my passion is what I'm pushing out there. But probably I'm managing my financial books. Maybe I'm this PR person who's great, and I'm managing my own music company. I'm a production company. I'm a recording company. I am this person who's so passionate in the arts generally, that I'm able to turn my passion into a business. So the business side of music is what has been missing in the African Kenyan setup.
Right.
That it's not commercialized, so it doesn't make sense. So people are like, when you look at a job, so that you earn money, so you don't perform for your lunch.
There's something that I'm hearing you say. So sai, unasema tumejaribu and we've learned how to commercialize entertainment. We're learning to go in the process. But kitu yenye na struggle to understand ni back then kuna ile utamaduni ya kuelewa kama muziki sio kazi. Na bado mapero wetu wako kwa hiyo era. Even though watu wanasonga mbele wana learn of venye tunaweza fanya muziki kwa biashara.
Na pia sasa tumekuwa parents, sasa let's say our kids coming up, utampatia ile opportunity hata basi unapenda guitar, go and learn it. Go and learn it in real music school uende wisome. But those days were even the schools to learn even that instrument.
Akukuwa nazo. Sasa what I'm struggling to understand is how do you bridge the now and the knowledge that your generation ilikuwa nyuma ilikuwa nayo. For instance, utaconvince aje mzazi ndio wanajua sikiza tune hata wanajekia kwa simu. But utaconvince aje mzazi that sikiza tune. Msaki sikiza una earn 50 cents. Kwa sababu yeye kwake 50 cents. Ndio kwenda daktari bwana. You earn millions. Unajua? Even though one understand yes hapa na hapa kujaza. But how do you think we can bridge that hiyo kutojua ama utamaduni ama sijui niite ignorance in some way of kutoelewa kama muziki inaweza fanya biashara and where we are now as musicians, as entertainers, as people who have actually learned how to commercialize?
So it calls upon the guys who have been there before. We know the attitudes that have been there, to package it in a way that the normal parent of those days will be able to understand and see, based on a few, let me call them guinea pigs, that we may use to show them that look at this person, look at this person, this is music, this is music. Those wale examples that they can see. That packaging also, if you package an artist in a way that they can be an example, and even these people can see, it can make a difference. Because I know of artists who right now have gone beyond the successes they've had on stage and have invested, and they are purely on music. Even in terms of where I come from culturally. So hata wanaona pale ni kwa nani, pale ni kwa Usa. Hapa ni kwa nani, and the ones who are even employing maybe the accountants, the managers, the what. So even this parent who might not necessarily see it to their own kid, they are seeing by the examples around that actually this industry is buying. But it's a concerted effort that must be put by everyone, and it has been rising steadily, though slowly, and it can only get better. And of course with the world being connected and say kama those days kuna masimu, kuna internet, kuna even in the village there are smartphones. They are able to see. they can see this music is better. They see artists have gone to school, not many of them, but the percentage imeenda ikichange. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Let's digress a bit. Mimi nikianza usanii, nilipigwa character development.
Na nani ulioshwa?
Si mtu, nilipigwa character development na industry yenyewe, na industry yenyewe kwa sababu niliingia kwa industry and it was quite rare to see a woman playing drums in this scene. I remember hata wewe,
I was shocked.
You were shocked. Yeah. You were shocked, you know. And a lot of people were shocked in the same way, but there was also people who were just like outrightly, no, this is not cool. This is unacceptable. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it was just because it is percussion, because sometimes I feel like an like a guitar, like a physical instrument that you play, versus voice, which is also an instrument, zinagawanyishwa katikati, and you find voice is more accepting. Anyone can sing, but not everyone can play an instrument. Yes. I'm curious to find out, did you have such challenges when you were starting out in your days?
In my days, maybe it was not so feminine to play an instrument, and especially the traditional instruments like Nyatiti. The way it is, like another artist was saying, a female artist. Even the way you sit with it, a woman cannot sit like that because it's right in the middle of your legs and you're supposed to sit on a lower stool and play. You know the Nyatiti? Because a woman is not supposed to sit like that. It's African.
Nikai
Nasema or they find it a bit off that a woman cannot betangewa, because you have to sit like that and put the instrument here and play it.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play it, it's a bit off because traditionally you play there.
Yeah.
And the drums for me, I felt, so like when I met you and you played, I was like, my God, look at her face, because you play and the face contorts, you feel it. I'm like, so you naturally took that path. But at that point, if you give up and people tell you no, that would have been the end of your dream. True. You'd have been pushing paper in some office now, that you want to conform with the Joneses. And it's not everyone who stays strong there. Yeah. Because even as a singer, they're like, why would she sing and she has the brains, she's gone to school. Yeah. But my passion comes first at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm going to stay there. The people who fall off along the way, wonderful singers. Unakumbuka music festival. Yeah. Kama saizi there's so much talent there. Yeah. It all goes. Yeah. Because there's no net to transfer it to the next level. Yeah. And it's such a somehow maybe frustrating path to follow.
Yeah, it's actually crazy you mentioned, Kenya National Music Festivals, because Kenya National Music Festivals is one of the platforms that I actually was on. Na ilinisaidia sana kufika kwenye niko, just to build my confidence and performance skills.
I'm a product of it too.
You're a product of it too. Yeah. Can you imagine? And with the age gap that we have, then I feel like institutions like Kenya National Music Festival, they need to figure out that safety net and take the game on another level to figure out how do these festivals actually help musicians wakishatoka,
the talents that are there.
Yeah, the talents that are there. Tukiharness hizo talents, okay, and then because ulipata certificate, because niko nazo mobile. Alafu
best soloist, best, but after they're just there. So the next is up to you to push yourself. That's what has been the hardest in art in this country. The best actors, best actresses, best soloists, but it ends at the level where you're within an institution, which is a school, or in the university, the colleges. After that, you're alone, and it's a very grey field and grey world. You have to figure out alone. Unless you go to the National Theatre or a music setup or a studio. So you start groping alone. If it's law, I study, I go to school of law, I go to qualify at the bar, stuff like that. There are levels in the art world. In Kenya, there are no levels. You have to find your way in that murky world. It's very technical. It has been, and that's why these schools must be there, institutions of art must be there. Unless you qualify, like performing arts at the university. But not everyone goes to university. Not everyone can afford to go to university.
True.
Yeah.
Wow. My sweetie now. I'm sure. I think from looking at your career and remembering articles that I read when I was ogling at you and Susanna Wio and Achieng, you guys are called Divas of the Nile.
So I hear.
I just saw you here. Able tell me about Divas of the Nile, because Divas of the Nile was quite inspirational to me. So this is what I know about Divas of the Nile. Divas of the Nile is 3 ladies who came together to form a product. Yourself, Achieng the late, and Susanna Roy. You guys coming together actually for me was a very big inspiration. And you know of the Flower Project, which exists now, it's an all-female band. You guys gave us that inspiration kwenda kuform Flower Project. Kwa sababu I had never seen a group of women wakifanya kazi pamoja, kwa sababu it's always been wanawake wazifanya kazi pamoja, women we scratch each other's we pull each other's hairs and remove them from our hair.
These are stereotypes. That's
Please, now that is what I want us to talk about. You tell me about. I want to understand, and I want you to tell our vibe na queeners. Hii mambo ya kusikia madem ati hawezi fanya kazi pamoja. Hii kitu.
You know, and then there's my angle. Now I'm coming in as a gender person.
Trend
Because I've studied gender.
Trend
and there are stereotypes that come and say, you know, if I tell you this flower is green, and you tell me it's lime, I will inculcate that in your mind, and I will ensure that your environment then shows you, until even me, I believe that flower is blue.
Okay.
So it has been said that women are their own enemies, until even you can start to believe. Because the environment is in such a way that then you're enemies. Okay. Probably you are few in that field. The resources are few that you have to fight over. So then I want to slice you. I mean, so that's why there's that bit. But I tend to disagree, because it's a male-formed opinion that women are their own enemies, because they make women their own enemies, and I stand corrected by that. Yes, stand corrected, kabisa. Yes.
I love this.
I can argue about this Steel Kingdom Cup.
Yeah.
Because even in the world of art, it's not been easy. The spaces are so kidogo. They are so little that then it's not fair to the female gender at that point. They just need to open the spaces. In as much as one artist used to tell me, Abby, that there's so much space for you guys to occupy here. Yes, it's there. But who is there to support us up there? No. Like you as a
percussionist.
Promise. I know of you and probably Mudoni.
Yeah.
And who else?
And now I'm raising ladies that are called Motra Music. You might not know of them, but you might have heard of them.
So if you didn't do that, then someone will say, "Aye, she will not want to train you." So I'm sure from mindset, given that somewhere women are their own worst enemies, that she wouldn't want to train me. So unajua pia wewe, you've inherited a certain mindset because you've grown up hearing it. Then you insist that that's it. What is so hard for you to go and approach this person and say, "Hey, may I? Would you mind?" Because when I went to the world of music, I approached Miss Myra and said, "Would you like to listen to my music?" She said, "Fine, come. I just want to listen." Achieng, the same. She took my music, sat to the piano, told me, "Iddi, sing!" I'm like, okay, to sing. And it's an induction that it's up to me to pick it positively or negatively. That does she want me to keep singing? She's just here to scare the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But every process, nothing comes easy. Even in these other professions, you have to walk that mile, and it's not easy. And probably someone wants to bring out the best in you. Right. People do it differently. Yeah. Of course, not everyone is good.
Yeah.
I mean, all men and women. You cannot just assume that all men are good or all men are bad, or all women are good. Or in terms of the artist world, all female artists are bad.
Yeah.
You just pray that you get the right vibe, the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think? You mentioned about the spaces being kidogo. Yeah. How do you think wenyewe kwa wenyewe, now that wewe ni matriarch na umeniona mimi nikigrow, na we are here, both of us now can be able to maneuver the music industry in almost, I won't say in the same accord, because there is the respect that you have more mileage kwa music industry than me. But what do you think we can actually do together to create more spaces and create more opportunity, so that sasa wenye wanakuja sasa nyuma yangu sasa can have equal opportunity or even have actually more access?
The clinics, the way they have sports clinics, we can have music clinics or whatever, if possible.
That's so interesting. Music clinics.
A clinic, that depending on the area where you are, because sometimes finance is an issue. Most of the time, finance is an issue. If I'm to travel and go to maybe the coast of Turkana, or let's say South Nyanza, Uko, whatever, it's that far.
Yeah.
There's so many other costs involved in doing that. I would want to go out there, but probably I can't. I can walk into a radio station or TV station and say, "You have a music program.
Yeah. Can
you interview me so that I can?" Of course, they have those music programs that you can say, I can volunteer my time so that we can teach on the same. Because I did an interview the other day. They were asking the same questions you're asking, like how would you encourage someone who's out there? But maybe where there are no those positive people who might want to maybe teach them something. Given that time, you use every time you can to encourage somebody. You can say, send me your music, or that's what I say, send me your stuff, I listen, and I can encourage you and hook you up. Maybe if you're a hangler, I can hook you up with an hangler artist who I've already talked to. Can you just listen and give them away for a gospel artist? You want this artist to talk to that artist, can you just listen to her, and it's just 2 minutes of your time, and tell her, this is your path, this is the way you can be better. Just encourage. Encouragement costs you nothing. Encourage them and maybe just point them in the right direction.
Right.
Which we didn't have so much of.
For people who play instruments, it's interesting that you mentioned music clinics because about Maju, I see a lot of music clinics happening and a lot of workshops. And even brands like like musical brands like Yamaha, LP, and Gresh, and all these brands that make musical instruments who are on a whole these are clinics, and really like they or in the music shops where people really have access. Anyone can go, and if you're interested, unaweza enda upate a bit of knowledge, ufundishwe how to play an instrument, uambiwe how to start. I guess that's a bit rare here kwa sababu we don't have access to easy brands bado hazijaingia Africa, and hazijaingia Africa because hatununui instruments ama like I really don't get it. But for people who play instruments, I guess it's a bit easier. But sasa watu wa kuimba, like utasema bado tufanye music clinics.
Music clinics, yes. Maybe a place where they can go and get maybe free voice training, breathing techniques, stuff like that, which you can say, I can go to a school. Maybe you have a drama club, not drama club, music, of course, arts club. There's people who can sing and say, maybe I can train. I can give my time to train these guys on this. Maybe look for funding, maybe want to take care of a few things. Or an arts organization that Atakama in the slums. There are those centers, like the social halls that they come to do their stuff. And you can actually get to the talent development programs that they have. Like in Siaya, we have what is called Siaya Talent Search.
Okay.
That I'm the ambassador of. I'm not the official ambassador in terms of with a portfolio, but I gave my time to do that.
Right.
And we to all the wards, they just come together, you listen, and then now I'm that connection beyond that village, beyond the county, to connect them to the different people that I think can make a difference. Like from instrumentalists to the vocalists who I can deal with. And if I know someone who can do a better job, I can say, I'm hooking you up with this adapter musician, an upcoming musician. I can give you a drummer who will not take part of a lot of your time. But when you have your free time, they send their work. You can say, work on this kind of technique. Like a musician from Ambia, I would listen to this kind of music. It's just guidance. Like an apprentice. Just guidance. It takes heart, it takes a lot of your time and dedication, and just a good heart. It now boils to the individual that you are. How much are you willing to give to this person to pull their hand up? Because you won't remain singing forever. We need to bring up, we need to mentor and bring up this whole generation that is coming.
I might actually just post that to group ya wasanii, adopt a musician. I really like that concept. It's really unakumbuka ile time tulikuwa tuna adopt a light?
We even adopted a girl.
No way.
Yes, adapt in terms of now back to development world.
Yes.
That I adapt a girl for the time that she's in 4, 5, 6, 7, when they start going to the reproductive circle of their life, that they have all these issues happening, the matters of reproductive health, how to take care of themselves. So I adapt this girl, and I not quite adapt. They live in the village, all that. But I link her up to a lady maybe who's able to earn some money and ensure that she stays in school all through. But then, even sometimes during the holiday, you remove her from that environment and bring her maybe to the cities to know that life exists beyond Lake Victoria. Or beyond Masai Land, or beyond Kamaland, or beyond Kikuland, so that you open this individual to the wider world. So that's the same way you can adapt a musician that anaweza toka kwa hii world ya kusikia tu hiyo muziki yake na introduce to the world has gone global. You have to listen to different sounds, and people are fusing. Look at fashion. The Masai, the Kiondo, they've all gone out there. So it's the opening up that is also, we have a lot of stuff on YouTube. kama anaweza learn computers anaweza learn hata music online. So when you open an individual, you open them to the whole world. True. Generally. Yeah.
Hey, Iddi, when you're encyclopedia, able to nourish with your voice. Unajua my viewers wanapenda sana when we have these small musical videos. Tukiongea sana pia unajua unakuja sana. Inakuwa unakuja sana. Tupatie Sweetina. I actually really love Sweetina.
So Sweetina talks about a sweetheart. A Sweetina tongwangi kanyo aneno hera aneno more aneno hera ay hera male jahera unajua tu hey hera wani wodluo. Sweetie, when I look in your eyes I see love, pure love, and when the sun sets there's only one thing. Inne jahera na mahero inne gimana wodluo inne dutote te. Unasikia hiyo French or English? Te means all. You are my love, you are my life. When the sun sets, I know only one thing. You are my pure love. Yes.
Iddi unatu serenade us. Now, let's get to the numbers. When you were associating with Prisk and MCSK, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like you were in the position of seeing the arts from a numbers perspective, as from a bird's eye view, away from the action, on the stage, and actually seeing what happens behind, the numbers behind music and the financials that come behind music. I really want to understand how that works, and in terms of because I'm quite biased towards gender, I really want to understand how you feel about more women coming into the space of music from time yenu, ukiangalia time yenu na sai. Is there any change effected? Do you think there's more women, I will use this name, daring into the musical spaces? Because often than not, tumeambiwa these spaces are not the easiest of spaces, the musical spaces. So that's why I use the name Dare. But do you feel like there's a change in terms of engagement? Do you feel like more women are coming into the arts? And do you feel like generally everybody is able to monetize from music? Ukiangalia how you guys started and now that you're actually in that position to see these things.
Okay, being at Prisk, what I can also talk about in terms of the collective management organizations, MCSK was there for the longest time, which was just covering the musicians generally, authors and composers.
Yeah.
Only for that realization to come that we also have performers and we also have the producers. That's why there's MCSK camp and Prisk. So having been on the numerical side of it, of course there are a lot of female musicians in the gospel industry, which is what is kind of acceptable. Mumama atavayungo yake ya mumama imba gospel yeye ina noma mkia kwa waldi yetu. Skimpily. Kwanza hizo kudance, unaona hizo
yes.
Now that's a problem. Now that's when the gender factor comes in terms of patriarchal society. Mtoto wangu anafanya nini and dancing kwa bar. How now?
Yeah.
Kama ni gospel, it's kind of acceptable. But okay, fusion, our world of fusion is a bit chill. Now there's rumba, there's benga and all that. That's where the line is drawn. And that's where the African millennials comes in, that this is a bit immoral. So they don't look at it as art. This is now on the moral fabric of the society is not nice. Yeah. You cannot be like this, you can't be married and doing this. So that's why a lot of musicians, especially the female, of course there's childbearing, there's the issues that come around it, and just going back, it's hard sometimes. Yeah. And even not without the male interference, ningumu.
Yeah. So this actually reflects on the numbers. Like you can actually see that more women are in the gospel music industry.
Gospel can deal, ndio atakuwa church na ataenda home.
Yeah.
Lakini sasa mimi naenda on tour because I'm on tour maybe for a month or two.
Yeah. And you're away from
mtoto wako umemwacha na nani ama huyo bwana umemwacha na nani?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all that, I mean, family is like, anasulimwacha sasa alikuwa na kana nani na hizi vasox na hizi breathe. Lazima afunikwe. Nani atamfunika? Atatembeaje nani atamanika nje kama nguo na mwanue? Unajua, you are invalid. Jesus Christ. So it's just, it's sickening, it's tiring, and it's a reality. Unajua, so it's very few who are able to fight this. It's just bad. You to semeni tu kweli. Yani wewe uweze tu survive utafuta tu socks zingine bandiko.
You tu socks kwa hapa. Kitambi kwa hapo kwa socks. Aizijibatisha socks. For 1 month
haja breathe. Ajui makucha zake ziko wapi, ameuka ajui hata kichwa kali wacha wapi. Jotua huko.
Idi wacha. So tuseme ngoja. So tuseme numbers zina reflect like unaona fit sana kwa Afrofusion huko kwa traditional music, there's less women engaging in are present in the music industry as opposed to side ingine ya
gospel can deal. But generally career wise, you either choose career and family. It's clear cut.
I disagree.
The higher percentage are on the either walienda family na kwa gospel. Lakini hapa hii
umemanage.
I'm the few. I'm the chosen few. No, the few who are kind of managed.
Yeah.
Because of course my babies probably became IT. Then now of course the musical career, they're going back to school and all that. Not many survive. That's what I'm trying to say. Of course the numbers are there, but they're not as many. There are so many issues that make them, not just men, but the culture, the society, even gospel. I mean, if you get a tour of maybe, which is well paying, it's not all women who will go. You know, there's probably that's why you find a lot of artists are single parents. Sorry to say. And depending on some male-dominated careers, you'll find single women. For them to flourish and be out there, single parents. It's a reality, it's the truth. The society bado inazoea pole for a woman to be on that top of the society and also be a woman and a mother and play all these roles and wear all those clothes.
And do you think this is continental, or do you think this is global?
Continental first, then global, because globally they went through this then.
Right.
And their needs have changed. Their way of doing it has changed so much to be comfortable with having a woman in a different kind of career path.
Right.
Theirs has changed. We are going there. So everyone starts from somewhere. Culture is dynamic. We go changing and we learn from other people the way that it's okay. I can be this person, but I can still run this kind of life. It's okay to be in this profession. This is a profession that can be respected. I can be a dancer, I can be an acrobat, but it doesn't reflect on my morals. It doesn't mean that if I sit in an office, I'm a better person than that person who is a singer in a bar, quote unquote. Because that's my profession, but there's also my personal life that are not necessarily the same. So those are the kind of attitudes that are starting to change. Of course, with the way the society is changing day by day, ina change. Alafu pia watu wamesoma. Unajua, the more you see the world, the more your attitude will change. Imechange tu sana. Hata huko ushago unaona tu. There's that respect that has come for the arts. Let me speak of where I come from, Nyanza generally. Your respect your music na ile level imepewa. Even having performed even Madaraka Day, the level where we were, the kind of appreciation and even recently the outgoing minister for the CS for education talked about the arts. That some people can be doctors, others can be musicians. You can record your own stuff like the way the Nigerians are doing it. And that recognition from a university don. Ungesikia kitambo?
Hapana.
Tunasema jagita oksera, jagita lania. You know what I'm saying? Mtu wa gita ni lania bwana, msanii usikuse.
I agree.
Watu yakuotea mbali bwana.
Nakupata sana. And as we wrap up, because you wear so many hats and you're also in the acting scene, do you feel like there's any similarities between the music side and the acting side in terms of engagement, in terms of you tamaduni unaniambia that's quite a strong factor, because I hear this in the general narrative, like ever since we started, that culture is really a big factor in terms of how the arts how they're viewed and how they're progressing.
It's tougher for the musicians because it's very visual. We are seen there. You dance, so people will come and actor, depending on who you are as a woman, it may be the roles you pick. The roles I could pick.
Really?
Probably I would not act this person because you believe that that's who I am. Your mind is like you act with nani kwa hiyo profession.
Yes.
So I believe huyu ni ule. Hiyo ndio kitu anafanya. So you can't pick, I cannot take a certain role to maybe advertise bathing soap or some showering.
Because you the role that people know.
Yeah. Mama nani ameonekana kwa TV kana nguo mama nani. Kuna bibi nani. Unanielewa? So that then my profession I can't earn because I'm tied down that it's just work. That is work. I can't kiss someone unlike that white person who will do that role in Hollywood and go to another level.
Yeah. Because your children in school will be told that their mother was kissing
and somebody was
yes.
Then your husband be like, hey, kiss tumekuja wewe ni bibi kwa nyumba. How now? They can't work. So the challenges are there. And being an actress and a musician, they're there, but culture is dynamic, and I hope it changes and people get to know how much money can come into this country through the arts.
I hear you. There's so much wisdom, Manziani. Thank you so much. But guys, it's been such a pleasure hanging out with Iddi Achieng. Thank you so much for coming to Vibe No Queen. I mean, there's so much wisdom, and the cultural conversation keeps going on, and this is something that I really hear strongly from everything that you say. And this is it's really something very important to think about and something to deeply process. Once again, asante sana for being here. Asante sana ku vibe. Na sisi, it's where? Yani sikuwa imagine in my wildest thoughts that tunaweza hapa tuanze conversation. We've had these conversations very casually, over the years. But also it's been quite a long time hatujaonana, and now we're able to actually have these conversations on a platform.
Yeah.
And
even this platform is very important because it goes out there and it changes the mindset of people that hey, I can make a difference kama msanii where I am. But just encouraging that one person. Yeah. What if I said no to you that day?
Aki, by the way, we would never have had this, and people would never have had all this wisdom and all these points, man. Hey, where? Umeni feed nasikia nimerudi 12 years 10. But guys, that's what Vibe No Queen is about, I get to learn too. I get to experience my guests in this way, in one way or another, and I also get to learn, and I also get to challenge myself in terms of the knowledge that I have, but also in the way that I present myself as an artist, because I also sit on a place where nafunza wengine, people are looking up to me, and I looked up to you guys, and you guys looked up to others.
Yes.
It's a continuing process, and I really appreciate these conversations a lot. Before we wrap up, I just want to give a big shout out to our major sponsor, which is Music in Africa Live, which is an amazing initiative that was pioneered by Music in Africa Foundation, and in partnership with Siemens Stiftung and Goethe Institute. Thank you guys so much for supporting Vibe No Queen. I also want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, our other sponsors, Gecko Cafe and Mara Apiari, who have been with us ever since we started Vibe No Queen. We enjoy your honey so much, and we have a jar here again. Thank you so much, Elmara Apiari. We're gonna tutaonja hii Iddi alisema atalamba hivi. Si ulisema?
Si lazima nilambe, nilikuwa mashamkono. These hands are blessed, man. Obongo.
Obongo nyakalaga mimi na homa yangu.
Honey is good for this.
It is good for, and this is what makes me so happy about this honey. It's organically farmed by a woman just like us.
Add more.
Hakuna
standard.
Kwanza haina kemikali, haina kitu chochote. Kinachoweza kukudhuru. Yeah. Elmara Apiari, thank you so much for always having our backs for Vibe No Queen. And once again, Music in Africa Live. Thank you so much. Keep it here for Vibe No Queen Season 3. The Matriarchs, and we'll be back with another amazing guest next week.